Hey y'all, Dan with the Southern Paddler Channel here. Today I'm back on Cotaco Creek. I come here a lot because it's a great place to paddle. And matter of fact, it's so great that I get a lot of comments on my Cotaco videos. Guys that come out here a lot, a couple that actually live in the area. And I had one this past week that message said, hey, I live out there, I go out there all the time, and you need to try to meet up sometime. So we got to messaging. His name's Brandon. Brandon lives out in this area, and he said he's gonna be out here this weekend. And I didn't have any plans, so I was like, well, why not come out there and we'll meet up and paddle around a little bit. So Brandon is actually going to camp tonight out on Cotaco Creek. But yeah, just gonna come out here and just spend some time on this beautiful Saturday. I put in at Upper River Road, and I'm going to paddle downstream. He's going to put in at Sharp Ford Road. That's the two main access points that I use. I think most people use. Sharp Ford Road is an actual concrete boat ramp. A lot of fishing boats put in there. But I'm putting in upstream and going to paddle downstream and meet him, and then paddle back to the truck later. There is a little bit of current here today. We've had a lot of rain this week, and it's not crazy, but it's going to make going down easy. But I'll feel it a little bit coming back upstream, but it won't be too bad. Big old guard right there. So anyway, yeah, just a nice relaxing float on this beautiful creek, just hanging out, killing time, and going to meet up with Brandon here in a little bit. So I'm just going to ease on down the creek here, and I'll check back in a little bit. All right, there's the boats, and I'm at camp with Brandon and Teresa. So this is, now I'm not camping, they are, but I just paddled up. So I was telling you on the way out that Brandon and I messaged this week, and he likes coming out to Cotaco Creek. He's camped out here a bunch, and of course I have too in the past. But so yeah, we got to messaging, and he said he's gonna be out here. So I said, well, man, I'll just paddle out and we'll connect out here. So that's what we did. And so they got their Enos set up, which of course is my preferred sleep system. got a nice little camp spot here in the boat. So we're yeah, right now we're just hanging out, and fortunately we're in the shade avoiding the heat because it's like 90 degrees. But y'all gonna be okay camping in 90 degrees?
Oh yeah, we'll be out.
Find out tonight, won't you? Oh, Brandon's doing some fishing, and so yeah, we're just out here hanging out and having a good old time. So you camped out here a bunch, Brandon?
Yes sir, many times over the years, some in the winter. One time we camped and it was so cold we had to keep our drinks in the cooler to keep them because it was in the teens. We got a heater inside of the tent. I mean, we had like a reflective cut to fit.
Wow.
And like it was pretty brutal.
That's crazy. There's been 2 mornings I woke up and it was 19 degrees. Both of them was in Bankhead. I think it was the Brushy Lake Recreation Area. Yeah, Brushy Lake. Yep, and we was just, it's you know, they have a little camp, it's a primitive campground, but we were right there on the lake. And but yeah, one time I did it solo, and then one time me and my brother Dave, we went out there, and yeah, we woke up, and I mean, like our Gatorades were frozen. You know, you had to thaw your water before you could like make your breakfast because everything was frozen. It was crazy, but I can't imagine. Yeah, I didn't think about putting them in the cooler to keep them warm. That would have been a good idea.
That's how we had to do it.
Yeah, so that's awesome. All right, well, we're just gonna hang out here a little bit and enjoy this nice shady spot, and then we'll check back in a little bit. All right, so we're walking down to the water. Brandon's been catfishing. Hadn't had anything lately, but he started off with a bang. He's gonna show us what he got right off the bat. Woo-wee. Look at that bad boy.
Oh, belly on it.
Man, yeah. Is that a blue?
I don't know. I think it's got a tint.
I think
it don't look like a flat for sure.
No, it's not a flat. Channels and channels tend to have more gold on them, I thought.
I know.
That may be a blue right there. That's a nice one, whatever it is. Heck yeah. Well, we know what Brandon and Teresa's having for supper. They're gonna eat good tonight. All right, we're gonna get back up here to camp because I got to start paddling back. I got several miles to make it back to the truck. So we're gonna get up here and do a little outro with them, and then I'm gonna hit the water. GoPro.
Well, it was wonderful meeting you.
Oh, it was great meeting y'all too. It really was. You know,
We love your video.
well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. You know, on the paddle out, I was talking about, you know, meeting people, you know, through YouTube and stuff. And I mentioned meeting that I was going to meet Brandon today, and somebody's like, man, you know, you gotta be careful. You can meet some crazies. Well, you probably could, but when you meet people like Brandon and Teresa, it makes you want to meet more people. We've had an absolutely delightful time sitting here at camp, just telling stories about paddling and camping and fishing, and so it's people like Brandon and Teresa that makes me want to go out and meet more people. I'm sure at some point I'll meet that crazy person, but I'll try not to let it skew my opinion too much, because I know that the majority and pretty much everybody I've met so far has been wonderful. We've even talked about Mike the Stranger today, who I met out here, and we've been friends ever since. Great guy, Mike. So thinking of you, brother. His mother just passed away a few weeks ago, so certainly my thoughts and prayers are with Mike right now. But he's a great dude, and I've been messaging him this week already. But anyway, we've had a great time here. So, Brandon, Teresa, are y'all gonna make it fine tonight?
It's gonna be good.
Okay, I'm gonna leave it with y'all. So I think y'all will be fine. Yeah, we've had so much fun here, just hanging out. But I've got a couple hours to paddle back to the truck, so I'm going to get started with that. And they're probably ready for me to leave anyway. So
He's welcome to camp with us.
No, I appreciate it. I do wish I had brought my chair. I've been sitting on a rock there, so it's been okay. But you know, that chair would have been nice, but that's okay. All right, y'all. I'm going to hit the water and head back. Brandon, Teresa, so great to meet y'all. It's been great. And I'll probably check in with y'all on the way back on the water. So I'm going to get to it. All right. I'm back on the creek, headed back to the truck. I think it took me about 2 hours to meet up with Brandon and Teresa, and so I've got about 2 hours back. Although heading back, I do have a little bit of current. Not crazy current, but there's a little bit. I feel it. And it's probably going to add a little bit to my time, but I'm not in a hurry. Just going to chug on back at my pace. Enjoy Cotaco Creek. Who wouldn't enjoy that, right? Love it.